up an RV and I was stuck in traffic. So
Ooh.
we're going camping tomorrow.
Oh my.
Yeah, we're going camping tomorrow, and
good.
my wife doesn't go camping unless it's glamping, so we had to go.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, I would rent her a really nice.
I like her more every day.
Are you going somewhere in Arizona?
Yeah, we're going to go up to Sholo, if you know where.
Yeah.
About
Sholo, yeah.
3 miles north of us. We're going to go to Sholo Lake and
Nice.
going with a few other family members and friends, and just getting away for a few days. So,
Nice.
Nice.
Good.
anyhow, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I got stuck in traffic, and I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm going to make it home. So tell me, so here's what I would like. So obviously I'm excited to kind of share some things with you guys today from a systematic standpoint. What would be the number one thing, Dr. Aaron, Pamela, that you guys would like for me to cover today? All of you guys, what would you like to have accomplished from today's session?
So I think, Travis, where this kind of comes from a little bit is, George and Steffi Joe just recently joined the team,
Right.
and George has got a lot of history with sales and marketing and network marketing and that. And he made a comment that I think really was very well stated of he wants to know how he can maximize the compensation plan.
Okay.
And I know we've gone through a little bit of, well, not a little bit, we've got through a couple of iterations of the compensation plan. And with the latest iteration, I know I'm curious to hear, Travis, how you think maximizing the compensation plan is, because it's a little bit different than I think what people traditionally think of with MLM.
Okay. So we want to learn how to maximize the compensation plan. Anything else?
Well, I want to know, what is a compensation plan? I'm a busy guy. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I got businesses I'm growing. So, one of the, Steffi Joe really wanting to move forward with this and doing a lot of stuff. And I'm like, just to be blunt, I want to make sure this is worthy of my time. So I want to understand what the compensation plan is and what what's going on with it. Do I just do this passively to help a few people, or do I spend more time with it and allocate more of my time? That's kind of where I'm at, to be honest.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I think for me, I just want to understand it. I've never really understood the network marketing comp plans. I am at the point now, though, like money keeps coming and showing up in my wallet, and I'd like to know how to have more of that happen.
Why? Nice, I like it. Just keep sending more.
Just let us show.
For mailbox money, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So where we're going to start,
Travis,
go ahead, Garth.
Travis, I just have one question. You might be able to just answer right away. But under the new compensation plan, when you buy a kit, you get QV the day you purchase the kit, but then you also get QV when they register the kit. Is that correct?
That is correct. So when you purchase the pack, you get the allocated pack for the volume associated with those packs, and then when they register, you get the qualified volume as well.
Okay.
So for rank advance purposes, right? So it's not paid volume; it's just for rank advance purposes only.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go through and let's talk a little bit about the compensation plan first, and then we'll switch over to the whiteboard in just a second. But let's just get an understanding as to where the money is coming from. And once we understand that, then we can start kind of going through and giving you guys some examples of what it would take to hit certain levels of income and what forth. So first of all, obviously, when somebody gets involved in Euphoria, there's two different ways that somebody can be a part of Euphoria. Currently, we're about to introduce a third, which is what's called our practitioner program. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. You can be a customer, which there's no membership fee to be a customer. We're probably about 65-70% customers right now, which is a really good place to be as a company. And then you can also be a nutritionist, which is you pay a $39 annual fee to basically gain access to the fullness of the compensation plan. That's an annual membership fee. And then there's a few different options and ways that you can get you can go into it. So first of all, You've got, gosh, this is a whole new document. I haven't even seen this document yet since they created it. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I just read through it, like briefly read through it the other day.
Yeah, I'm reading through it right now.
Stay reading.
So the first way that you can get paid is what's called a first start power bonus. And essentially this is just a commission when you make a sale, when you either bring on a customer, when you bring on a nutritionist into the business. Or excuse me, actually this is let me back up a little bit. So the first start power bonus is incentivizing someone to get off to a quick start, right? We understand that success loves speed. And so you have a couple of different options and ways that you can accelerate your check in the first month. And the whole idea is to create a story, right? I was told or taught long ago that the number one thing that you can give someone to be successful in network marketing is a story. Because once you give them a success story, it's as easy as going out and saying, listen, if I can do this, you can do this too, right? There's nothing more powerful than saying, if I can do this, you can do this, Garth. So a couple of different ways that you can qualify for this first start power bonus. First of all, the 14-day bonus, basically what it's saying is that if you create 900 in qualified volume in your first 3 levels, and a level is determined based on, if I sponsored Dr. Aaron, she would be level 1 to me. If Dr. Aaron sponsored you, Pamela, you would be on my level 2. And Pamela, if you sponsored George and Steffi, you guys would be on my level 3. So it's determining, these bonuses are based on what's happening within those first 3 levels. The purpose in that's pretty simple. It's just so that you can't just sponsor one person and then that person goes.
900 in first 3 levels.
So 900 in qualified volume in your first 14 days. And what that does is it's going to get you your product for free next month. So just basically a great way to pay for your product the next month right out of the gate. In your first 30 days, if you hit 2,500 in qualified volume, you're going to get an additional $500 cash bonus. Now, these are on top of all the commissions we're going to go over in just a minute. And then in your first 60 days, if you hit that 30-day bonus, it's gamified. So what it does is it allows you to then go for the 60-day bonus. And if you hit a total of 5,000 in qualified volume in your first 60 days, then you are going to qualify for an additional $1,500 bonus as well. And there's some other event tickets and things that they throw in there as well. So it's a total of $2,000 in bonuses, about $500 in event tickets, plus your product paid for as well. We've had a number of people that have hit these bonuses. And again, these is just for somebody that really wants to come in. Sometimes you have leaders that are transitioning from other companies and they're walking away from a check. Sometimes you have just people that want to get after it. And this gives them an opportunity to be able to accelerate their earnings right out of the gate within those first 30 and 60 days. Any questions on the power bonus?
So Travis, do you want to just highlight when that power bonus starts?
So it starts from either from the time that you sponsor your first person, and or there is a timer in your back office that you can press a button and it'll start it when you're ready, and or on the 14th day that you from the time that you've enrolled, it'll start automatically. So those are the different options and ways that it can get started. Now, what's cool is that if you hit that 60-day bonus, I just had a girl named Elise that hit the 60-day bonus. You can then, it reloads, which means you can go back and you can do it again. So if every 60 days you're going through the same cycle, 30-day bonus, you're getting another $500 bonus. And then, in 60 days, 5,000 in qualified volume would then put you into a situation where you would get another $1,500 bonus. And as long as you keep hitting it, it reloads and it gives you an option to just keep redoing it again. If for some reason you didn't hit it, then basically what would happen is it would then on your annual renewal date, it resets and allows you to go for those power bonuses again. So the main purpose that it's serving is it's getting people off to a quick start, creating urgency, starting to build that story within the first month. Second way that you get paid is through our first start bonus. And this is essentially just it's a commission based on your sales. It's kind of like if I sold a home, I get a commission. If I, sell coaching, I'm going to get a commission for whatever coaching package that I sell. So very similar to that. It's paid daily out of your enrollment tree. So it's pretty cool the way that this works. And so you have an opportunity to be able to earn down through 7 levels of fast starts. So I'll give you an example. So first level, you're earning 30% of whatever it is that you sell, or whatever package that you sell. If it's, I sell somebody a kit, I'm going to get paid 30% of whatever that volume is attached to that kit. So an example of that would be, if I sold a DNA kit for $149, a DNA kit is worth $100 in qualified volume. I'm going to make $30 on that kit. If somebody buys one of our business packs, which is a 3-pack or a 5-pack or a 10-pack, that's where you start to make a little bit more money. For example, a 10-pack's worth $450 in volume, so you're going to get 30% of that $450, just based on an initial sale for somebody coming in the door, someone coming into the business. So that's on your first level. And then what it does is it actually goes down through 7 different levels. And let me see if where it shows that at. I think it shows it up here. So you can see here, this first start daily pay right here starts off when you become a builder, which means you've sponsored one person into the business. It's actually, excuse me, I said 30%, but I'm still quoting the old plan. It's 20% on your first level. And then it actually goes down to 10% on your second level, and then 5% on your third level as a builder. And then as you progress in the plan, as you move up in rank, once you hit the rank of producer, then you're getting 20%, 10, and 10. So what that means is if I sponsored Dr. Erin, she's on my first level, I get 20% of whatever she purchases for the first 30 days, whatever packs that she enrolls in, whatever kits that she purchases. Dr. Erin sponsors Pamela, and Pamela goes out and Pamela buys a 10-pack. I'm going to get 10% of whatever the volume is attached to that 10-pack. And if, Pamela sponsors, George Yu, we're going to get 10% of that as well. I have right now 98 people on my first level that we've personally enrolled. Second level, I think we probably have about 300. Third level, we probably have about 700, 800. I haven't looked lately. So that gives you an idea of even just at that producer level, it's quite a few people. Every time they enroll somebody, you're getting a percentage, right? The whole concept of network marketing, a lot of people have a hard time grasping it because they look at it, and I did the same way from a salesman background, right? I used to sell coaching for Laurel Langmeyer, and I'd sell $30,000 coaching package, and you could make a pretty decent commission, right? A real estate agent can make a really decent commission when they sell a home. So when they look at these commissions, sometimes they struggle and say, well, is this really worth my time? The whole concept of network marketing is you're getting paid a little bit of money off of a lot of people that are all just doing a little bit. So that's the difference, is you're leveraging other people's time, you're leveraging other people's efforts. It's not just based on 100% on what it is that you're selling, or you're not just getting a one-time commission, it's a repeat residual type of situation, and that's the benefits of network marketing. As you continue to progress, the key rank where you maximize this compensation plan is at the rank of influencer. You can see right there in the middle there, influencer, you have to have 15,000 in your total enrollment tree. So 15,000 would be approximately 150 kits that's sold inside of your organization in a calendar month. And what that would do is it allows you to now collect first start bonuses down through 7 levels. So the last we checked, I had about 3,800 or 3,900 people inside of my first 7 levels. So inside of about 4,000 people, anytime someone brings somebody new into the business, I'm getting the 20%, 10%, 10%, 5%, all the way down to 1%, depending on where those levels are. And even though it's only 1%, I have thousands of people on my 7th level. So I'd rather get 1% of thousands of people's efforts versus 100% of my own. So this daily pay is getting really interesting, especially now because we used to pay it out on a weekly basis, and now they went to daily. And I had $1,445 loaded into my wallet this morning from daily pay. Just one day of commissions. The next day, I think, and you can see it 7 days out what's going to pay, because there's a 7-day hold, and then they start paying you daily based on what the week's previous was. They're averaging, some days it's 145, one day it's 265, one day it's 1,000. So this fast start bonus, especially now that it goes down that deep, Summer and I are at the rank of creator right now in the comp plan. So you can see that, we're now getting at the, level 5, 6, and 7, we're getting 5%, 5%, and even 4% on that 7th level. And it's crazy how just those extra few percentages change that daily pay. You guys would be really surprised at how quickly that starts adding up. So that's just one of the ways that you get paid. It's based on all of the new people that come into your business on a daily basis. Any questions there at all?
So Travis, this is just for new people coming in, right? This isn't for residual if I have a customer that orders every month?
Consider this any order that's placed within the first 30 days that one of your nutritionists gets started. So Dr. Aaron and Garth could order a single kit and they're on my first level, so I get 20% of that, right?
Mhm.
But then if they decide, I'm going to upgrade to a 10-pack, I'd still get 20% of that order if it was within the first 30 days.
Okay.
So it's happening, and it's happening all the way down through 7 levels. This was a huge enhancement in our compensation plan, just so you guys know, especially as you start to hit that influencer and above. Go ahead, Garth.
I was going to say, but then the auto ship customers that are getting their nutrition every month, that comes in the one-time check at the end of the month.
Yeah, he hasn't gone over that yet.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll get down to, we'll show you the residual in just a moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a huge enhancement. Picking up those fast starts now going down 7 levels made a huge difference. First start check match is also a new enhancement that we just added. So basically all those level 1s, so I have 98 people that are level 1s, probably, I don't know, half of them are my organization or customers, the rest are builders. So whatever their monthly check is, so they get paid monthly on the overall organization. I get 10% of that check, whatever their check is. They don't have to come and grovel and pay it to me like, here you go, here's your 10%. it's cash, right? So the analogy I would give is it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm a branch manager at a bank. I've got 15 people that work in my branch. Every Friday they get a check, whatever their check is, because I'm their manager, I get a 10% match of their check, right? It'd be pretty cool if that's the way that corporate America worked. In some cases it does, overrides, but that's kind of how I look at it. And that can actually, what it does is it incentivizes you to really lock arms with the people that you bring into the business. I have people that are earning 6 figures already. They're earning well over $10,000 a month on level 1. And so, if somebody earns $10,000 check, that's a $1,000 bonus to me just by helping them get to that level, right? So that's how that works. And again, when you go wide and you've got a lot of people, it starts to add up. You can create a 6-figure income or close to it, and sometimes even more than that, just off of your level 1s, once you start building some really strong leaders on that level 1.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So, I would say, where we're at right now, I think that my first starts probably added up to somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 this month, just off bonuses off of my first levels. And I could see very easily within another 6 months how that'll be a 6-figure check just off of that component. I believe that the first start bonus also, the first start match will be 6 figures, and the first start bonus, I believe that has the potential to hit 6 figures inside of the next 6 to 12 months as well. So just those two ways that you get paid. We've already talked about the first start power bonus and how you can accelerate. This is where the residual comes in, right? So this is why people get into network marketing. It's the concept that through exponential growth, in theory, if it worked this way, it doesn't always work this way, but think about it like this. If I went and got 10 people on my first level, and those 10 people each went and got 10 people, that would be 100 on my second level. And those people each went and got 10 people, that'd be 1,000 on your third level. And by the time you get down to 4th level, you'd have 10,000 people on your 4th level. You guys can get the idea of exponential growth. Now, it doesn't always work that way. Some people don't get any. Some people go get 30. But just so you guys know, the average is in the Direct Sales Association is right at about 2.8 people is what they say the average person will get. If you average it all out, I don't know what 0.8 is, like 2 big people and 1 small one. I don't know. But but you get the idea. So in my 7 levels, we have about 5,400 people right now in our organization. And I think about 4,000 of them are falling within those first 7 levels. And we have very generous payout, just so you guys know. We just increased these numbers as well. And it's very, very generous. So level 1s, every repeat order, you get paid 15% of one of those orders. So what do I have, 6 people every month? They order their DNA nutrition that comes to their doorstep, and I get $15. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's $15 multiplied times close to 100 people. So
they adjusted all that.
So now, as you move down, you'll notice it goes down to, and again, I always look at influencer, because influencer is the rank that you really want to push for, right? Because that's where you're now maximizing the compensation plan.
Mhm.
So an influencer, you're getting paid down through 7 levels. And then you're also now getting into your generations. And I'll explain generations in just a moment. But if you look, you're going from 15 to 9999952. What happens is in the early stages of network marketing, when you're at the ranks of like producer, mover, shaker, it's not uncommon to see 15 to 20% of your overall volume is what your paycheck would be.
Mhm.
That can be fair. So if you do, I don't know, 10,000 in volume, you might have a $1,500 check, right? Like you could, that's very common to see. And I've even seen, there was a lot of people in our organization that hit 18 to 22% of their volume this month. As you progress, that number starts to go down, but you're getting wider, right? And the number goes down because as you go deeper, the percentages start to go down, where eventually, like we have, again, about 5,000, 5,400 people in our organization. We're still at about 8% right now, but when I have 20,000, it'll probably settle in at about 4 or 5% of your overall volume. That's kind of what happens is over time, the percentages drop, but you're getting paid on a whole lot more people. So the question is, would you rather get paid, 4 to 5% of 50,000 people, or would you rather get paid 15% of 100 people, right? You guys get the idea that it's all about exponential growth and getting bigger. So what's really cool about our plan that a lot of unilevels don't offer. A unilevel is what our plan is. And the disadvantage in most unilevel compensation plans is you can see that our plan pays down through 7 levels. What happens if somebody comes in on your 8th level and blows it up in a normal unilevel? You don't make any money, right? Because you only pay down through 7 levels. So I was a huge advocate and fought for the last 120 days to get these 7 generations that you see, because that's where the real big money ultimately happens in your organizations over time. Because what's going to happen is very quickly you guys are going to see, you're going to start getting outside of your 7th level. Dr. Aaron and Garth, you guys are probably starting to approach your 5th level now, and your 6th level, and your 7th level. And all of a sudden you're going to have some rock star come in on level 8, and you're like, hey, these guys are outside of my compensation plan. So what we did is we created this 7, you can now get paid through 7 generations. A generation is no longer defined by a level. A level is defined by person to person. A generation is defined by the rank of influencer. So what it'll do is it'll search down, and until it finds the first influencer in your organization. That is level 1 of your generations. And then it'll search all the way down. So let's say that I sponsored Garth and Dr. Aaron, and that starts Dr. Garth and Aaron's line. And through Dr. Garth and Aaron, they now are starting to build this organization, and it's getting to the hundreds and eventually gets to the thousands of people. But pretty soon I have people down on my 15th, 20th, 25th level. Here's what's going to happen. It's going to search all the way down. And if there's no influencers, it goes all the way to the bottom, and I get paid to every single person in that organization. Doesn't matter, because the first generation would go all the way to the bottom. Now, if an influencer showed up somewhere on level 20, that would be my first generation. Then let's say that it goes down another 30 levels, finds another influencer, that would be my second generation. Do you guys see how once you go from influencer to innovator to generator to creator, how you start picking up
You have a question?
more and more generations, and those percentages start to go up? In the long run, that's how, when you have 30,000 people in your organization, that's where the big money is in the generational check match. Because you're going to be getting paid, even though it's only 2%, imagine getting paid 2% of 30, 40,000 people. And a lot of people have a hard time grasping how 30, 40,000 people, that seems like a lot of people, I'll never get there. Think about this. Summer and I have 5,000 people in our organization. We've sponsored 94. We sponsored 30. That took us to our first 1,000. We sponsored about 50, 60. That took us to about 4,000. So you don't need, once you start to create, the key is get to 100 as quickly as you can. 100 wide. Because if you can get to 100 wide, you're going to get at least 5 to 10 really good influencers are in there that are going to start building some really good businesses. And then you start working with their leaders as their leaders start coming in. And every time there's a spark, you go pour gasoline on those sparks. That's kind of how I look at it.
What was your question?
Travis, is that when they say levels compress, is that what you're talking about?
So no, we have, so,
Okay.
so this is generation. So generations, just know that you get paid down through 7 levels, and then below the 7th level, it now starts the generations. And generations could be, you could have 20 levels in one generation. Just know that. Compression is, and this is very important. I always ask when I look at a comp plan, if I'm going to build it, does it have dynamic compression? Dynamic compression is, let's say I sponsored Dr. Aaron and Garth, and then they sponsor Pamela, and Pamela sponsors George, but then Dr. Aaron and Garth quit. Well, now I have a dead level, right? What happens is if you guys don't place an order, that volume all compresses up. So the company is forcing the volume up. So sometimes, like, you'll notice at the end of the month, if you're looking at your volume, especially you could see this when we were doing the 3-level volume, you might close out the month here. 2 days later, when you go look at your volume, it might have been higher, quite a bit higher. The reason why is because, and this will happen more as your organization gets below 7 levels. What was happening is it now compressed up, and anybody that didn't place an order, it brought that volume within your pay grades. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Some companies don't do compression. So you might have.
Got it. So
somebody that
compression
enrolled-
is good.
Yeah, somebody that enrolled, and then somebody else that enrolled, and somebody else that enrolled. And let's say the 2 people quit, but then you started to build a really good business with someone down here. You'd have 2 levels that you're wasting. And that would be costing you a lot of money. So now what happens is automatically it compresses all the volume up. It's kind of like Tetris.
I was just going to say, it's like Tetris.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Got it.
So this
Is that just quitting, or is that also if they don't qualify that month?
It's only if they don't place their active order for that month.
Okay.
And they call it active. They have to place at least 100 they have to have 100 in qualified volume, whether it's placing a personal order or getting at least a customer. Now, this is where the product really matters, you guys. This is where what kind of product that you're promoting matters, because I've been in companies that are really sexy, but they don't have retention. Think about it like, I'm selling you a 90-day cleanse or a 90-day weight loss program.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is you start creating, it's like filling a bucket that has a hole in it. And so it's really difficult because you've got more people running out the back door than you have coming in the front door. So for me, I like to find lifestyle products that are products that people are going to take for the rest of their life. In the year that I've been here, I've had higher retention than in 15 years than anything else that I've promoted. Because if you think about it, once somebody gets this 35-page report and they see all of these health risks that they now have, right, that are linked genetically to their ancestors, to their parents. I'll just put it this way. I have a SNP that's associated with heart disease. My father had triple bypass surgery. Knowing that I have all kinds of ingredients that support my heart, I will never not take my nutrition the rest of my life, regardless if I'm with Euphoria or not.
Yeah, I've heard it said, like, this is the kind of information that you can't unknow.
Yes, I like that. And so that to me, and here's the other thing. A lot of times in network marketing, people will buy an initial product, but they're hesitant to go on auto ship. So in network marketing at previous companies, there's always a battle to get them from the first order to set up their auto ship. And companies pay really close attention to the percentage of, okay, they placed the first order, how many of them set up their auto ship when they were placing that order? And companies have even tried tricks like automatically checking the box for them, which is now illegal in network marketing. They can't do that anymore. So what happens is there's even fallout from the first order because people want to try it. Well, think about it this way. 100% of Euphorians are on auto ship. Why? Because they're buying this DNA kit to get to the custom nutrition. They're really wanting to buy custom nutrition. They're not buying this. So when they buy this, they have to set up an auto ship to get their custom nutrition. So 100% of our people pull through to place that second order, which is a huge deal. And you're going to find in network marketing companies, in some of our previous businesses, if I could take the average lifetime life cycle of a customer. So what's that customer worth, right? If the average customer stays on for, I mean, you guys know this through continuity programs and subscription programs, right? So,
Yep.
so if the average customer stays 96 days and I can somehow double that, I double my income for that year. So how long you keep people is so critical in this business. And we are just fortunate enough to have a product that is like dynamite when it comes to retention.
Yep.
The other thing I would say is it's easy. There's products that I have seen over the years that I call it velocity marketing. It's where it kind of goes from no one knowing about it to everyone knowing about it with very little force. And it's the kind of products that people just can't help but go talk about. So like when somebody gets this 35-page report, if you think about how Ancestry.com and 23andMe grew, it was just people coming home with a report going, oh, look, my parents are from Ireland. And oh, look, and then they call their brother and their sister up and go, you're not going to believe this. And then, and then friends would go, well, I want to know that information for myself. So the same thing is happening here because of this 35-page wellness report. People come home, get this information, and then they start sharing it with relatives and friends. And they're like, well, I want to know that information for me. So that's why we're creating this viral effect that's happening, naturally, which is how you build organizations that go to 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people. It'll take 2 to 3 years to get to 40 to 50,000 people. But if you knew that you could, in 3 years, over that period of time, you could build a residual business that could produce $100,000 a month in residual income as a result of just being in the right place at the right time. There's something about when a product and the timing of that product story hit at the same time that I've witnessed a few times in this industry. Like I was there when Monavie timed the acai berry. It was the first superfood. Dr. Oz started talking about it. All of a sudden people went superfood crazy and Monavie went to $1 billion in 36 months. It was crazy. There's something about a product story in the timing, and right now DNA is just a huge buzzword. And that's why I'm so excited about this, because I know this will go viral. It already is starting to. And that's how you all of a sudden just blow up overnight. So that's how you get paid on the residual side. And then there's a residual check match as well. So, so you see up here, there's a first start check match that's based off of whatever my level ones, whatever their first start check was. There's also a residual check match. So whatever, and this, by the way, was I got these mixed up between the two. So this is the residual check. So whatever your monthly check is, Dr. Aaron and Garth, if I sponsored you, I get a 10% bonus of that as well. In addition to whatever you're getting on your first start daily pay, but I get it, they'll add it up and then pay it to me on a monthly basis. There's a car bonus. So, once you hit Innovator, you get $400 a month, and then it just starts to go up from there. So Summer and I get $600 a month car bonus at the level that we are. So there's a lot going on in this. And I kind of look at it like this. I mean, we've been in this now for about 12 months. We've built a multi six-figure business at this point within 12 months residually. I mean, if I just stopped, we would have that kind of a residual check coming in. And I think, and I've bought a lot of businesses, including gyms and franchises. And Summer and I were looking at a franchise that I think has got some merit to it, and it's $395,000. And at the end of the first year, you can expect to be making 10 to 15 grand a month for 400 grand. And I had to stop myself because I was getting excited about this franchise. And then I looked at their numbers and I'm like, I mean, it cost me $39 to buy this business. And we're already earning way more than that inside of a year, just going out and I don't have to create and hire the employees and go into debt and do all those other things. And so, George, what I would tell you is I know what you do. I mean, I've lived in that world. I know the coaching world forwards and backwards. My son works on Brendan Burchard's coaching floor. I know that whole industry. It's a great industry. You make tons of money in it. But at a certain point, you're still got to be there and you got to be making those sales every single day. And so the cool thing about this is while it's not going to happen overnight, and truly you'll do a lot of things in the beginning that you don't get paid for, down the road, you'll get paid a ton of money for the things that you don't do. And that's the hard part that most people have a hard time with, is the beginning stages of putting in the time and effort. I remember at one point going, man, I'd make more money working at McDonald's than I would have made this month for the amount of time I put into it. But it's really interesting because what happens is, if I had to draw it, and I'm a kind of a visual person, it looks like this. You've got your effort and your reward curve. And in the beginning, the reward's down here and your effort's way up here. But eventually it starts to do this, and this starts to do this. And usually there's a point where they meet in the middle, but then this income just keeps going up and up and up. And Summer and I have built businesses that have approached $1 million a year residual income, just network marketing. You just can't beat that. You know, I mean, it's amazing when you're getting $80,000 to $100,000 a month paychecks. I know that will happen here. And so the key is just to get here. And this could take 12 months. You know, it could take 6 months. It just really depends on the person, their credibility, and how hard they want to go after it. For Summer and I, it took us about 2.5 years to get to a point where, because we dabbled with it for the first 2 years, and then we lost everything in 2008, and we went all in, and within 12 months, we were over 6 figures, and we just started going up. And that's why most people start part-time, and then they start to build, you know, once it starts to get up to a certain level, they keep going with it. Problem is, most people lose interest in the first 12 months because they're not creating enough income for themselves right out of the gate. So I do have people that get to 6 figures within 6 months. It just depends on, you know, how much you want to get after it, and how quickly you sponsor 100 people. You go sponsor 100 people, you'll be at 6 figures.
You mean how much we can get our upline to work for us?
That's right, George. That's right.
Pamela's an amazing upline, just so you know. Pamela's amazing.
Pamela, she's got you covered.
And in the beginning, truthfully, in the beginning, that's what I did. Is I leveraged the upline. We ran another business, so I didn't have time to do all this. You guys are limited in time. You just go pique the interest and put them in front of Pamela. Pique the interest, put them in front of Pamela. Pique the interest, get them in front of Dr. Aaron. Get them in front of the tools. So you just need to become an expert at learning how to pique the interest and moving them to the next exposure. And that's really, really easy to do. Like, I can go into how we're piquing interest. But I want to make sure we're clear on the compensation plan. Is there any other questions on that at all?
I had one question. There was the customer something service.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
So, so there is a $10. Remember how we used to have the D&D and we don't have it anymore?
Yeah.
So people that were wide were going to get hurt by that going away. So what they did is they added the servicing bonus. And basically the way that it works is any personal that you have, you're going to get an extra $10 a month for that person on top of the 15%. So you get paid 15% every month. And then if I sponsored the person, I get another $10 on top of that. So I'm technically making $25 on every personal every time they place their subscription every month.
Okay.
That's what that is they just added that servicing bonus in just to kind of offset the fact that the D&D was going away, which, by the way, that D&D going away, it was so confusing and it was so not doing what it was supposed to do. It was rewarding the wrong people. If you look now, the fact that they were able to add in those fast starts all the way down through 7 levels and they beefed up the residuals, that's where it really matters anyways. So it really was well served. Any other questions on the compensation side of things?
Can you go over the residual match bonus again?
Yep. So there's 2. There's the first start check match, right? So basically, that's basically all of my first levels are getting daily pay, right? They're getting a check every day, depending on wherever they're. Like, if you're influencers, you're getting fast start money going down through 7 levels, right? Does that make sense? So whatever you get at the end of the month, however much money you were paid in fast start money every day, because you get it paid daily, the company's going to look at your money that you were paid in first starts for the whole month. Let's say it was $1,000. I get a $100 bonus paid to me as a match because you made 1,000.
Okay.
Okay, that's on the first starter. Now, the residual check match is your residual check, right? That's the 7 levels plus the 7 generations and all of the residual orders that are taking place, right? You guys get a monthly check that's paid to you on the 10th after the month closes out, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is. So let's say I had somebody that earned $10,000 last month, which we did, and almost 2. I would get a $1,000 bonus from that person because they're my first level.
So residual check match is on first level?
Nope, residual check matches is all the money that you made in the entire month on your residual. So it's this, right? It's this all these 7 levels right here.
Right, but you get paid on only level 1?
Yes, I get paid 10% on level 1. So basically what it's doing is saying, hey,
Okay.
I'm going to really pay you to lock arms with these people you bring into the business and help them be successful.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your number 1, Aaron, just so we're clear.
Oh, totally clear.
Don't
Make
ever
me
drop
rich,
out.
Pamela
If you
Zimmer.
drop
Make
out,
me rich.
She compresses up, guys. Don't ever drop out. She moves up a little bit closer to me, so.
Don't ever leave me. Don't ever
you want
leave me.
Zimmer? Oh, she's going for Zimmer.
So Travis, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
As long as a nutritionist is always on auto ship, they're essentially active.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So even if they're not doing the business, because they signed up as a nutritionist, they're getting some.
Yep.
Okay. But that's where the breakdown is, like you can only carry over X% of your total volume from one leg.
Correct.
That's in essence try to counteract that.
Well, and the other thing is if you think about it, if I sponsored one person and that one person just builds this massive organization, that would break the compensation plan, just allowing this person here to go to the top of the plan. So what they're saying is, you know, in the lower levels, you can count 60, 70% of the volume from this one leg. But as you start getting to influencer and above, it's 40%. It's called the 40% rule, which is pretty standard in the industry, which pretty much just says if I'm trying to hit a $100,000 rank, I can only count 40,000 in volume from this leg, this one person's leg. So it means I need to at least have 2 other legs.
Yeah. Okay. So one other question, and it may be a no answer, but when I did the certification test on the practitioner, they talked about how the volumes work. The one thing that they didn't mention, and that may be because we're not supposed to know the answer to, and that's what the account managers handle. But I understand when a medical professional office sells their kit, they're making the retail money. They're making the profit there. But how are they seeing a benefit with the auto ship?
So if I'm a practitioner, so first of all, you sign up the practitioner. Whatever the practitioner orders, you get 30% of initially, right? Then you get paid 20, what is it? Residually 15% plus $10.
Well, it depends on, yeah. And
right? So you're getting 30% of whatever that practitioner's order is initially, unless they change it, unless they come out with a new plan, like they tell us it's different, which they may. And then the practitioner's on your level 1. So that practitioner, how they benefit is all their customers are level 1 to them, they're level 2 to you. So now they're getting the 15% plus the $10 on every order.
So that's the same on auto ship.
Residual income for practitioners.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're getting $25 a month on every single customer or patient that they bring onto that product. And think about it, some doctors are putting in, you know, they're building a frontline army of 50, 60 customers a month. By the end of 12 months, they've got 800 people, and they just keep building this army of people that are just taking their product and they're just getting a residual check for it.
Okay.
And they're making margins, and they're making, the front end margin every time they sell the kit as well. So they're not only getting just the upfront margins, but they're getting their ongoing residuals as well.
Yep. That's the part I wasn't sure is what their residuals were. So along those lines, I'm going to reach out to you individually on a Facebook message tonight with some assistance that Aaron and I need.
Okay. George, Steffi, any questions so far?
Steffi?
I don't have any questions. I'm absorbing all of this. All I know is I want to go get my 100 people tomorrow.
Oh, good. Let's go do that.
Go do it.
So now we have something called the 3-2 defense. And no, I'm just kidding. It's totally different.
Yeah, exactly. Are we in prevent mode?
We're in prevent right now. That's right.
Touchdown.
So the only other thing I would share with you that I think that you would be interested in hearing would be our marketing, like what the funnel looks like. What is the cycle of a lead, or what does the process look like? You know, the process typically looks like this, and there's a business approach to this business, and there's a customer approach to this business. To the masses, I teach the customer approach. To people with credibility, I teach them the business approach as well. I'll tell you why in just a moment. But everything kind of starts with a conversation in this business. And conversations, typically we have, if I had to say, what are my job responsibilities? What are, you know, if I had to describe what I do every day, there's really 4 key things that I do. I notify people of what I'm up to. I invite them to take a closer look. I follow up and I answer questions, and then I collect decisions. Okay? So everything that we do with regards to how we're handling a prospect is somewhere in these 4 different things. And notifying people what we're up to, inviting them to take a closer look, follow up, collect decisions. So what does that look like? So if I wanted to have a conversation, and I'm going to start on the customer side because this is really our mass duplication system that builds the large organizations. It starts with, we now teach texting for appointments, or how do you get in front of someone? The easiest way to get in front of someone, if I were trying to get in front of Dr. Aaron and Garth, is I would text them and say, hey guys, have something important I want to chat with you about. Do you have 5 minutes tomorrow or Saturday where we can connect? Have something important I want to talk to you about. What would you say, guys, if I texted you that?
Great.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. What? So they'd say Friday, call me tomorrow at noon. So we teach people that the key is you got to fill your calendar, get in front of people so you can have the conversation. And the conversation is so super simple. It's all about asking the right questions, right, George? You're not selling, you're not pitching. When you're doing that, people are going to resist. It's all about asking questions and helping them through a discovery process to ultimately come to a conclusion that they need your service, right? So here's what's happening. So basically, it's as simple as this. Garth, let me ask you. So I would connect with Garth and Dr. Aaron, and we would get on the phone. And the first thing I'm going to do is just small talk. How's the family, guys? What's new and exciting in your world? And what's going on? What's all that stuff. And then I'm going to say, hey, well, thanks for taking my call. I got a couple of questions for you. First question, and I want you to humor me, but I'm serious when I ask you guys this. Do you value your health?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I asked this to a friend the other day. He goes, yes and no. I said, what do you mean? He says, yes, I value my health. No, I'm not doing what I need to take care of it, which I thought was, he's leading me. He's already giving me information I want. So then I said, okay, so here's the second question. So do you guys currently take vitamins and supplements on a regular basis?
Everything Men's Health tells me to.
Not kidding.
Yeah, not kidding.
I just got a new natural testosterone booster I got to show you. I want to see what you think of it. So anyways, so they said, so do you take vitamins and supplements on a regular basis? Now they said yes. Now, if I want to, I can dig a little deeper, but he already told me I take everything that Men's Health tells me to do. So I don't need to ask him, what do you take? So then I'm going to ask another question. So are those vitamins and supplements that you guys take, are they generic or are they custom? Like, did you go to a doctor and have them formulated just for your bodies, or, are they generic?
Basically generic, and whatever is either on sale or the person behind the counter tells me is the best seller.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If all things were equal, right, and you could now have a DNA test that detected all of the genes that you've inherited that are linked to major illness and disease, and then you could have a custom blend of vitamins and nutrition that was specifically and clinically designed to alter the expression of those dirty genes. If you were given the choice, would you still take the generic, or would you take something much more customized for you?
Well, I definitely want to do the more customized to me.
So in a matter of 4 questions, now mind you, I haven't even mentioned Euphoria. I didn't say I just joined some network marketing company that's in pre-launch, blah, 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 gag, 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 right? Like all I did is I just asked them 4 questions, and he already said I'd rather have custom. So then here's what I say. This is where my blast comes in. Well, cool. The reason why I ask is because Summer and I started a DNA nutrition company about a year ago. And that's what we're doing is we actually do a swab test. We take your DNA. We're testing for 18 different specific strands. They're called your power strands that are associated with many of the chronic illnesses that we face today. And then what we do is we pair your genes with 100 different plant-based ingredients that are all clinically proved to alter the expression of your dirty genes. So that's my blast. Here's what I do, my 60-second elevator pitch, right? So I call that the blast. And then I come in and say, here's what I'd like to do with your permission, guys, right? So I always ask for permission. What I'd like to do is I'd like to send you a 7-minute video. The 7-minute video is going to explain just the product and the process. And I tell them I have 0 expectations. 0 expectations. The only thing that I ask is that you watch the video, and if you like what you see, that you'll consider not buying from High Health, and you'll be my customer instead. And in return, I'll give you something much more custom to you. How does that sound to you guys?
That sounds good.
Okay, great. Now, I'm not done yet. I got to take it just a little further. So if I send that video over, when do you think you could watch it?
Mm-hmm.
I've got time tomorrow night after 6 o'clock to watch it.
Okay, I'm going camping this weekend, so I'll be back on Monday. If I called you Monday, will you have had a chance to watch it by then?
Yes.
Okay, so I confirmed. He said yes, he'll watch it by Monday. What time on Monday is good for you guys?
During halftime.
Halftime. All right. What's that, about 8 o'clock your time?
Over an hour difference, but yeah, 7 o'clock.
All right, 7 p.m. I've got you on my calendar. I'll call you guys Monday, answer any questions you have. Cool? See you later. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. Yep.
So if you guys noticed, I never pitched. I never went into a sales pitch. All I did is I asked questions all the way through. My entire objective with my initial conversation, and this is where network marketers, they blow it. They give the presentation during the invitation. And it doesn't work. Because if you do that, like if I called them, hey guys, listen, I just joined this company. It's called Euphoria. They're in pre-launch right now. They just opened their doors. Like it's not even ground floor. Like it's the basement. And you know what? Like seriously, they've got DNA nutrition. You ever heard of DNA nutrition? We've got these new products and 100 different ingredients. Have you heard of astaxanthin and AC11? And oh my gosh, and they literally just throw up on people. And people are tired of that. It's a pitch. And so they're like, oh my gosh, right? Everybody wants to buy, but nobody wants to be sold. So the key is you have to know your objective with every single contact. First exposure is always just to get them to the second exposure. The second exposure is a 7-minute video. So then I follow up on Monday night, right? Yes, they have some questions. Well, now behind those questions is a sincere interest. So we talk a little bit, answer their questions, and then here's what I do. Hey guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite you to a group that we have on Facebook called DNA Nutrition Testimonials. It has 7,000 people in it that have all made the switch to customized nutrition. We're adding about 250 people a day. And all they're doing is just sharing their experiences using this customized nutrition. If I send you the link, would you click on it and just take a look around and see what people are saying about those products? They say yes. Great. When do you think you can do that? Oh, you do it tonight. Okay, cool. So if I follow up with you tomorrow, you'll have had a chance to look at it by then? Yes, great. I'll give you a call tomorrow. What time's good? So literally what I'm doing is I'm moving them from one exposure to the next in a short of period of time until they do what? They give me a decision. On average, it takes 4 to 5 exposures. I'll be honest, sometimes I send people the 7-minute video, follow up, and they're like, sign me up, send me the DNA kit. That does happen, but not all the time. So the follow-up process looks like this, and you'll notice my funnel is getting smaller, and ultimately the goal is to collect a decision, but not just collect a decision. Professionals in this industry collect well-informed decisions. Most people say no, but they don't know what they're saying no to. So the key is to control the process. And you'll notice I'm never chasing somebody because I never get off the phone with them before scheduling the next call. So I always know when I'm going to, and I know all of us have done that, right? You've gotten off the phone and go, crap, I didn't schedule a follow-up. and now you end up chasing them. And here's the cool thing. Even the people that avoid me at a certain point, they're not ready, life happens, they get busy, which happens all the time, they're in my DNA Nutrition Testimonials group. And they're getting dripped on every single day by people that are posting new testimonials. It never fails. What ends up happening eventually, if they're in that group, is that somebody shares a testimonial that relates to them, and they go, "Oh, I got to get on this." And they call you up and go, "Hey, I'm ready to get started on this thing." So social proof is being built right here. Now, if they weren't ready, what would be next exposure? All I would do if they weren't ready is I'd say, "Hey," I'd do a text and I would say, "Hey, Dr. Aaron and Garth, I got to introduce you to my friend Pamela. She's got an amazing story. She's been on the product for 3 months. She's an expert when it comes to this product. And you know what? I thought I'd just connect us in a chat in case you guys had any additional questions." And then Pamela is going to go, "Hey guys, it's great to meet you on a chat. Let me know if you guys have 5 minutes to connect sometime. I'd love to meet you and just share my story with you." And now that brings in third-party credibility. And usually by the time you go through this process, they're ready to join your business as a customer. Now,
Okay.
as a customer,
Hey guys,
what's that?
I have company that just got here from out of town, so I have to pop off.
That's okay. Just put them on the presentation. We'll sign them up. Make sure.
I'm gonna go to them.
Bring them
She's
in.
got her
Do
kit
it.
ready. She's swabbing.
I've only got a few more minutes. I got to go too. No worries.
Okay.
See you guys later.
No
All right.
free dinners, Pamela. No free
Bye,
dinners.
Pam.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So the only other thing I want to share right now, and maybe we'll stop here unless you guys think I actually do have to stop because I got to get going. But what the key to our duplication system is this: the customer comes in, and then what I do is I say when they order the product, I say, "Hey, text me as soon as your kit arrives." So the kit arrives, and I literally make them register it with me on the phone because I don't want it sitting on their desk for a week. So I say, "Hey, do you in front of a computer? Go to the computer. Let's get you registered real quick at youstart.com." So that's step number one. Then I say, "Okay, any questions about taking the product? Start off, take 3 the first day, make sure it doesn't bother, it's a little bit of a cleanse, so make sure you're good, and then go to 6 the second day. And then what I want you to do is text me when your 35-page report arrives in 2 weeks." So they text me again. I say, "Great, let's go over it. Have any questions? This gene, you want some more information? Let me show you where you can learn about each one of these genes." And then, so now I'm touching base when the product arrives. I'm touching base at 14 days. And then I say, "Hey, at 30 days when your custom nutrition arrives, let me know. I just want to know about it." So they text me. Any questions taking custom nutrition now? And then here's what I do at 45 days. "Hey guys, do you want to know how to get your product for free next month?" "Yeah, I'd love to get my product for free." "Well, you've got an awesome testimonial already. Are you willing to just share that with a few friends and family members and just tell them what you're up to? Maybe even put a post up on social media. I can help you with that post. We have some pre-written posts that you can choose from. Just put in your own personal, testimonial in there. And let's go get a few people. I'll talk to them for you. You don't even have to tell them you're not doing the business. You just want to share, this new product and experience that you're doing and let other people know about it." And so what we do is we teach them how to get the product for free, which is go get 4 people. And guess what? Now those customers come in and we just start repeating the process. This is how you go from 50 to 5,000. Bring a customer in, show them how to get their product for free. Bring a customer in, show them how to get their product for free. And you just duplicate that over and over and over again. So I think that's a good place to pause for this session. Maybe what we do, schedule another session next week if it's convenient for you guys. And what we would do is we would shift over to the business side, because there is a way to accelerate the launch process and make it go a little faster. And it has to do with just getting these influencers on board first. And when you go after influencers, typically you're talking more about the money, the opportunity, what's going on in the business right now, the fact that we're pre-launching. You guys are going to attach yourself to Ron Williams' story. Hey, look, we've been brought on, as strategic specialists to help this company pre-launch. This is a huge deal, and we're coming on board here, almost like marketing consultants to help these guys really take it to the next level. Right? That's how I look at myself as a marketing consultant. I'm not an MLMer. I'm an entrepreneur that uses MLM as a business model, but I'm truly a marketing consultant. Companies are very lucky to have Summer and I promoting for them. And as long as they provide great products and I know I can go out and move them, there's money to be made. So the way I approach people is, listen, we know that we've worked with a lot of companies. We've helped a lot of companies scale their businesses. We're working very closely with the world's only DNA nutrition company right now. We're working very, very closely with the founders of the company. And we're literally just bringing this company to market right now. And the people that lock arms with us right now have a really, really strong opportunity to make some serious money. I don't know, maybe a good fit for you guys, may not, but I'd love to send you over a little 30-minute kind of intro to what it is we're doing, and then we can chat if it's something you're interested in. So that's kind of just a little bit of a preface to what that would sound like. And it sure sounds a lot better than saying I'm in an MLM that just pre-launched, right? That approach sounds a little bit more professional, correct?
Yeah.
So that's all I got for you guys today. We can do another session next week if you guys would like, and we can just keep kind of talking a little bit more and a little bit more. And
Thank you so much, Travis.
Hold on.
Any questions, Steffi or George?
I don't have any questions. You've been on our big screen.
Oh, wow.
So George put you up on our, so you're quite big in my face right now.
I just put you back to the laptop so we can look straight in here.
Back up a little bit.
I had you on my 44-inch monitor.
Oh, guys, it's a pleasure always. Really excited about the possibility of working with you, and hopefully today maybe build a little more belief, George. I know where you're at. I've been exactly where you are with this industry, and is it worth my time? And so hopefully, that we'll keep working and build that belief little by little.
Yeah. I'm excited, and this is,
Well, I own gas stations for 27 years. I've got other businesses too. I don't only work for Tony.
Right.
I'm exiting Tony. I mean, I'm working on an exit strategy with Tony, is building other businesses. So I know Laurel. I mean, I worked with Bob Proctor for years. I know in Laurel. I know all of them. So
Laurel's still trying to figure
I said, I came this close to working for Laurel. I said, nope, not doing it.
That was a long time ago, man, for me, but
Yeah.
she's an interesting character.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about the possibility of working with you guys, and you have amazing, Pamela is awesome. Dr. Aaron and Garth are amazing.
Yeah.
And whatever I can do to help, I'm here 100% to help you guys. So just let me know.
I appreciate that.
I gotta go pack an RV, and I gotta go to Walmart. So
Okay.
Oh my
Thank you,
God.
Travis.
Fun.
my least favorite store on the planet I have to go to. So
Yeah.
We'll see you
Okay.
guys.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.